Camping season is right around the corner. The snow was melting and it's about time to start getting the camper ready for the season. But here's the question, can you run a camper this large off of a solar generator? Imagine the typical 3-day camping trip that most families embark on. So today I'm going to test the EcoFlow DELTA 3 Max Plus with not only one solar panel, but 2 solar panels so we can see just how far we can push things. Let's go. So this is our 33-foot camper. Normally we'd plug into shore power, which would give us all the power that we need. But when you're off grid, that's not the luxury. So sometimes all you have is the limitations of a lead acid battery. But today we're going to simulate running this entire camper off of the EcoFlow DELTA 3 Max Plus. I really need to get this thing ready for camping season. So that means we have to test everything. And I wanted to do a little challenge to see if I could do it all off grid, so to speak. So this is where a solar generator and a couple of solar panels could prove very useful. The EcoFlow DELTA 3 Max Plus is a more powerful version in the DELTA 3 lineup. It's intended for users that need more power and longer off-grid support. With a 2,048 watt-hour capacity, 6,000 watts of surge, and 3,800 watts of X-Boost technology. It's a popular choice because it includes 2 solar panel charging inputs, as well as a high current 30 amp Anderson port. We're not just going to focus on specs today, we're going to test them. So I'm going to roll up my sleeves and get these solar panels set up first. This is the 160 watt portable panel, and this is probably what most people will start with. It's lightweight, easy to carry, and with the conditions we have today, it can still generate a solid amount of usable power. It's simple, portable, and just really easy to set up anywhere. It's a great option if you're looking to maximize charging and get the most out of your setup. This one here is the 220 watt bifacial panel, and this is where things step up a bit. Packaged the same size as the 160 watt portable panel, this one captures energy from both sides, the front from direct sunlight and the back from reflected light. So in these same conditions, with brighter ground or even snow, you actually pick up extra input. And even in early spring conditions, we're already getting about 320 watts coming in. Doing some tests the day before, I was able to get up to 357 watts or about 94% efficiency. Wow. It's important to point out that the DELTA 3 Max Plus supports fast solar charging. That means up to 1,000 watts of solar input can provide 0 to 80% charge in as little as 90 minutes. Now that the solar panels are set up, we're going to plug the trailer into the solar generator. Now we're just going to turn AC output on, and then this should start changing. There, we're at 46 watts, and that's just running the trailer for the basics. Nothing's turned on, but there is a battery charger in there that is charging the lead acid battery, so that's where some of that is coming from. And the microwave's on standby, any appliances that might be plugged in, such as the fridge. And as you can see, the truck is not connected. It's just parked here. We are running all on solar, baby. This is the perfect test. I have to try everything in the camper to make sure that it's working properly. Come inside. So we're going to start with the basics. We need a little bit of room to move around and maneuver. So let's move these slides out. One thing I love about this is the technology. The DELTA 3 Max Plus is sitting outside the trailer, but we're monitoring it from the app. We're inputting 320-ish watts of solar power from the sun for free, and we're outputting 39 watts. Like I said, we need some room, so we're going to move these slides out. Let's start with the small one, which is the kitchen. We'll move that one out and you're going to see the output change. So you can see our output was peaking at around 120 some watts. Now let's do the big slide, which is going to use extra motors. I can already tell I need to do some maintenance, some lubrication, because these have been sitting over the winter, so that needs to be taken care of. But what's really cool is that our state of charge has actually gone up because the solar panels are bringing in more power than we're using for just our initial setup. If you're not familiar with the two types of power that a camper like this would use, let me show you. So here's your electrical panel. On this side here are all the fuses for our AC power. Right now we are hooked up to AC with the Delta 3 Max Plus, and it is taking that AC power. It's also running an inverter, which is powering all these 12-volt devices here, because these are the 12-volt fuses. Simultaneously, it is charging the lead acid battery I showed you earlier. So there's a lot going on here, and we're doing this all with the Delta 3 Max Plus. So let's just start turning things on and see what type of power is needed to spend a day in the life of a camper. So let's start with the living room lights. Those are on. We just jumped up a little bit in our output. I'm going to turn on the bedroom lights here. Just got to find the switch. It jumped up another 6 watts. Turn that one on too. I'm just going to go and turn on all the lights. So we're at 70 watts. I am at 75 watts. This is a 12-volt light. So that's going to use the inverter. That's less efficient. So now we went up to 95 watts. Turn on this light, turn on this light. This one is also 12 volt. So that's inefficient. With those all added, we're at 120. Okay, bathroom lights on, we're at 124 watts. I can turn this fan on, I'll just show you. Why would you need a fan in a bathroom? 149 watts. I'm gonna turn that off because it's noisy. So just imagine another, 25 watts on that. I'll turn the bedroom light on. They have lights over here too. Well, all the lights work. We are at 135 watts and we've got all the illumination turned on, but we also need entertainment, don't we? So now the TV's on, soundbar's on, and we are at 206 watts. But we're bringing in 323 watts of electricity. So during the day, as long as there's reasonable sunlight, and we're 80% charged by the way, we can run, I'd say, the basics, but we might get hungry. We might need to microwave something. We might need to make a pot of coffee. Might need to boil some water for some tea. So I think we should move on to the appliance test. I see I forgot one set of lights. There we go. These are 12 volt as well. So we're running about 260-ish watts, but we're pulling in 326. Now let's step it up. I'm gonna try running everything that you realistically would in a camping situation, all while the Delta 3 Max Plus is pulling in that solar energy while it can. Now this is where output is really gonna matter. Let's make ourselves a pot of coffee. Remember, I have all the lights on in the trailer at the same time, like everything is on. Okay, so we jumped to 1.52 kilowatts. So now we're exceeding what the solar is coming in, but now it dropped down a little bit to 255 watts, and you can see that it's still brewing. It's that initial current need that ends up bringing the current as high as it did. Now let's boil some water. So boil some water for tea, 1.65 kilowatts. So you can hear this starting to boil. Now we're at 2.83. Because the coffee maker is heating up again. You can probably hear that over here. So we got both of these going. You can see our power is depleting a little bit, but we are running pretty high right now. We're gonna try and push it over the edge. My wife has me on some kind of portion control, but I can hear all of these appliances working. 2.83. I'm expecting this to fail. So let's put this on for 25 seconds. Oh, I think it tripped. Yeah, it tripped. So it does say that our output socket current is too high. Now, to be completely fair, it could do the same thing if you were connected to shore power, because you can't run everything. You can choose the air conditioner, but maybe not have the microwave on at the same time. In this case, I was trying to do 3 high watt appliances, which does exceed the nominal capacity of the Delta 3 Max Plus. So it appears that it just turned off the AC. So I can turn it on here with the app, or I can push this button. I'll try and turn it on with the app. And now we're going again. And now it's at 1700 watts, 1.65 kilowatts. We'll just wait for maybe the tea to be done or the coffee, and then we'll try the microwave. I want to point out Smart Output Priority. This feature is newly introduced in the Delta 3 Max and Ultra series and is an exclusive innovation from EcoFlow. Unlike other EcoFlow product lines or competing products, which typically require manual switching via physical controls, this feature allows you to conveniently select and manage which circuits remain powered directly through the app. This means you can prioritize essential appliances such as a pump, a boiler during a power outage, helping to extend the runtime of critical devices when energy is limited. Okay, so the coffee maker is done. Now we will try and microwave some food. I'll just put it on for 25 seconds. So we got 1.73 kilowatts. So as you can see, there are going to be limitations. Remember, we have every single light on that's AC current, every single light on that's 12 volts, which is inefficient because it's using an inverter, as well as we have a kettle, a coffee maker, and a microwave all trying to run at once. We're able to get 2 of these 3 appliances at the same time and still have the TV going with all of the lights. So I think that that's still pretty good. And I don't think people are going to have every single thing turned on, because I know even when we are on shore power, my wife trips the breaker at least once a day because she's making a tea using her curling iron and then goes to microwave something or make some toast. So just some examples on limitations and how you could use this in real world applications. And remotely we can turn it back on if we trip the breaker with the app. Now my camper is not equipped with this, but if you have one of these, an Anderson connection, remember I mentioned earlier that the Delta 3 Max Plus can use a 30 amp Anderson connection. This is the best way to get low resistance, high current from one DC charging device to another. So this does have that capability. Unfortunately, I'm not able to show it today. Okay, I'm going to turn off some of these lights, things that we're not going to use during the day, because when it gets hot in here, we might need to cool it down once in a while with the air conditioner. So we're going to do the air conditioner test. Now this is where most power stations fail, but we're going to see if X-Boost or some of these surge features that this product has can keep up with our AC unit. Okay, we are back down to 56 watts. Let's turn on the air conditioner. So the fan might kick on first, but then you'll hear the compressor kick in, or you may not hear it based on where my microphone is, but we should see this surge up quite a bit. So we're going to move it to cool, and we're going to have to turn this right down because it's not that warm outside right now. So hopefully this is enough to kick it on. So there's the fan. Might have to do this test later. Oh, there it goes. We have air conditioning and it did not trip the system. That's impressive. Very happy to see that. So during the day, solar can offset your usage and extend your runtime. So the power right now is about 1/3 of what we're actually using. So that does help offset somewhat. Now once it's cool enough in here, we could just step it down to the fan. Give that a second. So it just dropped down. So even if we want to run the fan during the day, we are still charging because we're bringing in more power than we're using. I see this working really well for weekend camping, backup power, off-grid setups, and even things like medical equipment. After testing this, I think the idea of using a solar generator like the EcoFlow DELTA 3 Max Plus with solar panels is more practical than most people think. But like anything, it really depends on how you use it. If you manage your loads and understand your power usage, this kind of setup can go a long way. I always think this is so cool. Right now, we are bringing in about 345 input watts. It's bouncing between 342 to 349. We are going to be fully charged in 2 hours and 4 minutes. I don't have to do anything. I just leave this here. Maybe throughout the day, I'll have to obviously position the panels depending on where the sun is for the area of the country that I'm in. So in conclusion, the Delta 3 Max Plus is the ideal starting point for 2 to 3 day off-grid trips. If you have any questions about the Delta 3 Max Plus, please drop them in the comment section below. And if you found this video informative, please hit that like button. Please consider subscribing, and we'll talk to you next time.